There is another developing story happening this morning. Another 7 people arrested for the alleged looting and collapse of the VBS Mutual Bank are set to appear in the Specialised Commercial Crimes Court sitting in the Palm Ridge Magistrate's Court in Johannesburg this morning. They're facing a total of 188 counts, including theft, corruption, money laundering, as well as racketeering or organised crime. The 7 other accused, including former bank executives, were granted bail in June last year. The former chief financial officer, Phillip Truter, has already pleaded guilty. He is currently serving a 7-year jail term. The suspects were arrested yesterday. They handed themselves over, including a senior bank manager, political party officials, and an employee of the new Collins Chabane municipality. Well, at the Palm Ridge Magistrate's Court, we've got Samkele Maseko. Samkele, this is a big day. Obviously, we're still waiting to see those that have been arrested arrive at the court and reveal their identities. But let's get an update from you. What time can we see this beginning?
At this point in time, it's not yet clear what time court will start, but first and foremost, that the agenda of the court proceedings will be the media application to broadcast proceedings inside court. But I'm going to bring in Sipho Ngwema, spokesperson of the National Prosecuting Authority, just to speak on the logistics of the individuals and suspects that will be appearing here today. Mr. Ngwema, just the logistics of how these individuals were apprehended in order for them to appear in court here at the Specialised Commercial Crimes Court this morning.
Good morning, Samkele and your viewers. Look, a number of them were arrested in Limpopo in the morning. Some then reported midday here in Gauteng. I think the last one arrived around 9:30 p.m. So all of them, 6 is going to appear in a case where they will be joining the other ones which were appeared last week. Then there's another appearance of a lady who's going to appear thereafter, but linked to the matter, but the case is different. However, the offences are similar to the ones that will be joining, to the 6 that will be joining the other 8 which appeared last week.
What are the charges that these 6 that will be appearing here today are mostly facing? And is there who is this political party officially? May not name drop, but we are also seeing names being branded about outside. How will this implicate the nature of the case, as many politicians then say that these cases are politically motivated that they are facing?
Look, Samkele, we'll see when we issue the indictment today that there are no politics. It's evidence, it's facts in terms of criminality that took place. Of course, there are people who will be affiliated to political parties. That is not our interest. Our interest is who broke the law, how they broke the law, and what charges are we preferring on them. And the charges are corruption, racketeering, money laundering, theft, in some cases the contravention of Municipal Financial Management Act. So those are not political issues. Those are real criminal issues. We try as much as we can to stay away from the drama of politics, but we know that politicians, they like to politicize cases. This is a pure criminal case, and this is what we are investigating. And evidence has led us to where we are today. It will keep on leading us to more suspects as we discover that law has been broken, and we want, therefore, to look for the people who have broken the law. So 6 people will appear first, and then there's another 1 person who will be appearing on charges also of PFMA and 2 counts of corruption.
How do you then mitigate a situation where one of those who is a political party official took Advocate Terry Metau's Great Bank Heist report, the particular section on him being a kingpin of getting municipalities to invest in the bank and ultimately defrauding the bank, that he set aside that particular recommendation and part on his side by Advocate Terry Metau, which is the Reserve Bank is currently reviewing? How will that affect your case against him, since he's been exonerated partially by the North Gauteng High Court?
I can answer that question generally, because if I were to specify, be specific, it may mean that I'm either confirming or not confirming names that have been branded about. However, if a situation like that would arise, you must remember, in as much as forensic auditors do their work, criminal investigators also do their work independently. So if whatever thing may happen or not happen with regards to that decision, it's not going to impact on how the criminal investigation will go. So if criminal investigators have criminal evidence that points to any person who would have challenged anything and probably successfully, but when criminal investigators investigate and discover that there is credible evidence that may lead to that person, criminal investigators must take action.
Will the state be opposing their bail applications?
Look, I don't want to preempt in terms of what happened in court, but I think if you look at the history with regards to this matter, we haven't opposed bail, but of course we understand the seriousness of the matter, and therefore the amounts that we may ask for befit the crime that we allege were committed.
Are you going to be seizing their assets in the interim as well?
Those are instruments of law that we have at our disposal, so we never rule out the use of those instruments on any accused that may, their situation befit that kind of response, and therefore we continue to work, we continue to look at those instruments, and at the appropriate time, if we have to use them, we do.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sipho Ngwema. That was Mr. Sipho Ngwema, spokesperson of the National Prosecuting Authority, saying that they are going to be proceeding with the case this morning, and he wouldn't confirm that particular case of the alleged individual who may be part of those who's a political party official who went and reviewed a section of Advocate Terry Metal's report on him being a kingpin in the Great Bank heist, which was set aside, and the Reserve Bank later on coming out and saying that they are taking that particular judgment and ruling of the North Gauteng High Court on review.
All right, thanks very much to Samkele Maseko from the Palm Ridge Magistrate's Court. That is one of the big stories, of course, that is going to dominate this morning.
It's